Noon Eastern time, we saw these protesters gather inside the lobby of Trump Tower earlier this afternoon, basically staging this sit-in in protest to Mahmoud Khalil's arrest. This happened this past Saturday, as we know, here in New York City. He was taken by ICE officers and brought to a detention facility in Louisiana. Take a look at some of these images of what it looked like inside before the arrest happened. This, by the way, is a group called Jewish Voice for Peace. And so this group was seen, they were carrying banners. Some of them said, "Jews say stop arming Israel." Some protesters were also wearing those red shirts that you'll see there. Some of the chanting that we heard inside the lobby of Trump Tower, "Bring Mahmoud home now" and "Free Mahmoud." Lindsay, there was a person who was narrating this live stream of the protest inside the lobby there. They said over 200 Jews and friends had taken over Trump Tower. You can see in our images here, there are NYPD officers there on scene. They arrived after the sit-in began just after noon. At first, they were telling folks, Lindsay, basically to leave Trump Tower. When that didn't happen, the sit-in protests continued. They were chanting there. They began sort of tying zip ties around folks there, around their wrists. And some of those people were taken outside. They were put into NYPD vehicles, some of them as well on New York City buses. You can see in our images there, they were taken outside the building. Then we saw this perimeter form outside the lobby on Fifth Avenue. This, as we know, here in New York City, a really busy area. Folks will be walking down Fifth Ave during this time of day. And so they had created this barricade outside the entrance. And as all of this chaos was ensuing, there were also onlookers who gathered. They were taking photos, kind of trying to see what happened inside the lobby. You can see another protester there in that red shirt being escorted outside of Trump Tower. Well, as you mentioned off the top, Lindsay, I just want to remind our viewers, this was all in protest to Mahmoud Khalil's arrest this past weekend, which has sort of become a flashpoint now for this conversation.
It certainly has. Let's catch some people up to speed on some of the latest in the case. The Trump administration trying to make Khalil the first legal American resident to be deported under a new executive order. This executive order says he can be removed from the country if his presence or activities pose a potential serious threat to the nation's foreign policy. Of course, there are some legal questions there. Who has to prove that? And in the eyes of whom? Would it be the government? A new motion was filed by the Southern District of New York asking the case to be dismissed or transferred out of the state without prejudice since he was not arrested there. What is the latest with his legal case?
All right, so let's just rewind a little bit. He was taken away by ICE officers this past Saturday. Yesterday was his first court hearing here in a New York federal court. And what happened inside that courtroom was we heard from his attorney who confirmed that he had not had a chance to speak to his client since he was taken away by ICE officials. So yesterday, the New York federal judge in this case said, I'm going to grant this person a chance to speak to their lawyer once yesterday and once today. So we will see how now the case progresses. You mentioned that motion that was filed by the Trump administration today. That is a motion to essentially dismiss Mahmoud Khalil's challenge to his immigration arrest. So this could result in two things. His case could be dismissed or moved to somewhere else. We know right now he is in Louisiana.
Okay. Chanel Call, we know that you will continue to monitor these live images coming out of Trump Tower. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.